The Ace of Wands represents the beginning of inspiration, motivation, creativity, and ambition. This card symbolizes the infancy stage of these forces, even if it's not noticeable. This card is a positive card. When shown in a reading, strive to be aware of opportunity, new ideas, and risk taking that could pay off if you take a chance. The wand is associated with a fire type energy, so be active, get the ball rolling, and put your thoughts into motion when you see this card. Good things can happen if you invest in your vision. The Two of Wands represents personal power and strength. When you look at this card, you see a well-dressed man standing on the roof of the tower, overlooking the land, symbolizing his vision and ambition. In his left hand, he is holding the wand, representing the power he has to make things happen. In his right hand, he is holding an earth-shaped ball, showing that he has the world in the palm of his hand. The Three of Wands represents sight beyond sight. This is the card of the visionary. Instead of thinking short term, this card is telling you to think long term. Sometimes you have to take a step back and evaluate the situation, and don't be fooled by the gold in front of you. Think of all the possibilities and then make the right decision. Remember, when you make a choice, you have to take everything it comes with, good and bad. The Four of Wands represents celebration and enjoying the fruits of your labor. This card also represents excitement and enthusiasm, partying, ceremonies, graduations, birthdays. This card represents all these type of events. Also, any type of fun activities that make you happy, like going to the club, hanging out at the barbecue, throwing your hands in the air, vibing to the music. This card can signify any of these activities. The Five of Wands represents confusion and conflict. Quarrels and misunderstandings are things you need to look out for when you see this card. There are times in life when things might not be going your way, and it might seem like the stars are not aligned for you at that moment. This card represents those times. It's a good idea to keep your antennas up when this card is in a reading, and try to navigate around cantankerous people and unpleasant situations. The Six of Wands represents victory or achieving your goal. As you show yourself amongst your peers and the masses, you are receiving cheers and applause. It feels good to be a winner, and now you're basking in the glory. All the praises are due for your achievements. But at this point, be careful, because with all the love being shown, the hate lies in the cut plotting on your demise. At this moment, don't get too caught up in all the festivities and keep an eye or two open for the fake love. The Seven of Wands represents aggressiveness and defiance. Going against the grain is the theme here. This card is saying it's time to take a stand, rebel, and fight for what you believe in. Things are not going according to plan, and you must let your voice be heard. On the card, you see a man in a combative stance with anger in his face. This means this is not the time to lay down and accept what's going on. Define your position and stand firm on your conviction. The Eight of Wands represents swift, immediate action. When you see this card, it is saying the time is now to get things done. It could also mean it's time to wrap things up depending on what you got going on. This card also signifies news, information, or any type of communication being passed. When you see this card in a reading, it's time to be alert and make your move. That particular move will be related to the question being asked. The Nine of Wands represents the brave, wounded warrior. When you see this card, it means you have to stay on point, be on your defensive. The man on the card has been through some hardship, and now he's learning from his mistakes. He is alert of his enemies, whether they be mental or physical. He has been there, done that, and now he won't fall for the same old tricks. This card also represents maintaining your strength through hard times. Your physical state is compromised, but you have to keep on keeping on. The Ten of Wands represents the burden on your back. The weight of the world is on your shoulders. There is so much that needs to be done, and you're just one person. You are overwhelmed with all the responsibilities and work on your plate. The man on the card is struggling with his load to the point where even his vision is compromised. He is not visually paying attention to what he is doing. He is just tackling his enormous daily chores and the workload never ends. The Page of Wands represents a new burst of inspiration and creativity. Great ideas and opportunities are on the horizon. The inner child in you has been awakened and you see hope and ambition. This card means it's time to muster up the courage and pursue your dreams. The past is the past. You don't take it as a bad experience, but rather lessons learned. Life is beautiful and you are seeing the potential of your abilities and resources. The Knight of Wands represents someone who is cocky and arrogant. That person is a risk taker, someone who acts before thinking, and is excited by conflict. The energy on this card is vanity, confidence, and narcissism. On most days, you have to be aware of this energy and keep it in check. There are other times where you want to escape the monotony, and this card will indicate it's time to break out of the norm and roll the dice. Take a chance and let things get loose. The Queen of Wands represents beauty, confidence, royalty, and positivity. She is the face of a company or brand, and her reputation is immaculate. She holds herself up to the highest standards and brings inspiration and motivation in any circle that she enters. Even though she is attractive and seductive, she does not use these strengths to embarrass the suitors that cannot have her. With all these wonderful attributes, she carries them gracefully like a queen. The King of Wands represents all the positive attributes of the Wand suite in full effect. This card shows a trendsetter, a creative, action-orientated personality. The King of Wands is a calculated risk-taker who mesmerizes his audience with his bold actions and results. Immaculately dressed, well-groomed with exquisite charm, the King of Wands is the center of attention. As a king, he has the ultimate authority and commands the utmost respect. When you see this card in the reading, depending on the question being asked, somebody with the power and star appeal is in the situation.